Hey everyone, I'm Justin Nightinger. I'm going to be your dungeon master tonight for this hard R-rated campaign in my homebrew world of Pernault. Before we go any further, I want to make sure I introduce all of our PCs tonight. The gang leveled up last week, so I'm going to give all 200,000 viewers right now a taste of what you guys got leveling up. So let them know the high notes of it. As always, we'll start in alphabetical order. So Casey.
Hey everybody, my name's Casey Boyd. I am playing Byron Bancroft, your silver-tongued bard. At level 4, I took the feat Poisoner, and I will be adding that into my repertoire. CJ?
Hey guys, I'm CJ. I am playing the Oh Brother Where Art Thou, Soar the Sorcerer. I took the feat Telekinetic, which allows me to move things with my mind, essentially. And I can use Mage Hand without using verbal or somatic components, and it is invisible.
Howdy, howdy. I'm Emily, and I'm playing Clem, your handy pet collecting warlock. I took a feat that allows me to Misty Step because I was tired of only being able to move 30 feet at a time in battle. And I swapped out one of my Eldritch Invocations, so now I can make my Pseudo Dragon Donut the Destroyer attack whoever I want as a bonus action.
I expect you to be doing that every single turn from here on out. Hello, my name is Lisa. I am playing Nyx, the Reborn Cleric. And at level 4, I decided to take the Warcaster feat so that now every day for the rest of her mortal-ish life, Nyx can wake up and choose violence.
All right, I'm Rob. I play Casper, the really beefy paladin. I did not plan to go that route when I made Casper, but we're here now. I took the feat Brawny, which is Unearthed Arcana, and it makes me better at athletics, as well as gives me a lot more carrying and other capacities too. So I can lift a lot right now.
Yeah, and just so everybody's aware, some of the stuff that was taken, at some point it might get nerfed, but at this point we're just gonna roll with what they got there. I also want to congratulate anyone who's been here the entire time, because we are officially at episode 10. Who would have thought it?
Double digits!
Double digits,
So,
baby.
As always, we are playing D&D 5e with a few homebrew rules added in. We are also using D&D Beyond, so if you go to the left-hand side of your screen, you see some cool stuff about our PCs. Lastly, the sweet board in the middle, that is Tailspire. We're not affiliated with it, but we love it to death, and we tell everyone that they should buy it. So if no one has any questions about that, we're going to do a little recap. Everybody okay with that?
Let's do it.
Yes, sir.
I'll take.
Yeah.
All right. So last time, the gang headed off towards the Bent Horseshoe. While they were on their way, you guys spotted a rose gold dragon flying back in the opposite direction of where you were going. Will it impact the campaign that they didn't follow it like Nick said? Don't know. It might. But they kept hoofing it until they met Erdberg Rend, a charismatic hobgoblin who set up shop behind the Bent Horseshoe. It's here they find out that Talon was sent over to the McGillicuddies, and Casper got a bitchin' hat that says "Not a Cop" in rhinestones. The group then went and fought some zombies and did a great job. The session ended with Soar seeing a familiar brown feathered wing and the group leveling up. Last week, we gave inspiration to Ashvane. So Ashvane, if you're here, that means that you can give inspiration to me, which is advantage or disadvantage. You can also give advantage to any of the players at any time that they would need it. I want you guys to keep being awesome because you're super awesome. And Lisa, you're going to get a chance to pick someone for inspiration tonight. Lastly,
better be on their best behavior.
That means be extra crude. Lastly, we have a sub button we can use now. And if for some reason you guys are listening to this in podcast form or on YouTube, like, subscribe, and all that happy stuff. Now that my shilling is done, is everybody ready to go?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
All right. We see a brown feathered arm laying in a doorway. And Soar, you totally see that. And you can't see it on the screen very well, but over here where my light's at, there is a pawn that I can now lay prone. Thank you, Bouncy Rock. Because now I can make things lay down.
Is that
So
what is that?
That is a gargoyle statue, because I didn't want you guys to get confused with two of the same exact owl.
Oh.
You
Very
mean
smart.
3 of the same exact owl.
Hey,
Here, I'll move it out farther.
We've already got two. We've already got 2 owls in our group. It's fine. Just
so
end up going.
Soar would immediately see the winged tip in the doorway, and knowing that the feathers on that wingtip match the feathers on his own, he would assume that it's his brother. Shout brother while everyone, I assume, is sitting in a half circle talking, and bolts for the door. Whoop.
Okay. Is anybody doing anything else while he runs over there?
Byron's
I will
looting.
go with.
I would like to go with, but I'm also curious about, now that this is the first time we've been as a group in the Factorium. So other than Byron, who has a connection out here, are any of us familiar with this area, or if this is kind of is this a dangerous place to be, other than all of the obvious zombies? Silly question, I realize.
Yeah, am I familiar with this area?
We're in the slums, and
We're in the slums? I thought we were in the
Yeah.
Factorium.
We
Oh,
went to
shit.
the McGillicuddies.
which is
Oh.
a drug warehouse. Like this is
Yeah.
they're super bad people.
Yep.
Okay, fair.
You guys were told to go. He went towards the Factorium. Byron knew of your hobgoblin friend, and the bent horseshoe is kind of on the edge of both of those districts, and this is in fact in the slums. It is not a very good place. As with everything else, it's kind of run down in this area. However, there are still a lot of neon-y signs. I just have no way to put that on Tailspire. The one thing that you guys wouldn't have noticed, and I'm not going to make you roll for this, is you're not seeing as much of the neon-ridden clothing. So the jackets that say "bitchin" or "number one dad." Those are not seen as much here.
Other than Casper's not a cop hat, I trust.
Well, that's not lit up. That's just rhinestones. That's just classy.
What do
Uh,
we need to do to light it up? That's
yeah,
the
we got to get
question.
some of those prowler magic crystals so that we can make it really bitchin'.
You're the blacksmith.
I mean, prestidigitation can work for like an hour at a time.
So we got to get that crystal game so it can never go out.
All
Okay,
right, so
I think
we'll-
that we all just run across knowing that there's no
Byron staying to loot.
Okay.
attaboy.
Wow.
Oh,
So,
no, I missed out.
So there is so much loot just because Clem's very upset that she left over there. No, these are zombies. There is torn clothes on them. You do find 15 gold in all of these.
Okay.
Give me a perception check.
Perception 10.
10.
Mhm.
You can see that these don't look like the other zombies that you saw, in the fact that their clothes are still mostly intact except for where you chopped and or magicked them to death.
Okay.
Now in the case of the big guys, they weren't wearing short shirts, but they're like loinclothy type things. That was still intact.
Okay.
Okay.
Alrighty.
Cutting back to sorry, go ahead.
No, if I say it, my guy will come back to the group as late. So go ahead.
Okay. So Soar, you see your brother, and he is laying in the door, like halfway out of the door. His eyes are closed right now. The one wing that's laying out looks regular, but the other one is bent in a shape that you would know is broken without even doing a check.
So that's what I see whenever I walk up.
Yep.
Soar would sort of, he wouldn't be flying anymore, so he'd kind of get on the ground and kind of gently shake him, or kind of gently check over him, sort of, kind of freaking out, that his wing's broken. And brother, are you okay, brother?
As you shake him, his eyes slowly open, and you can see red across both of his eyes. And he goes, Soar? I almost called him Talon. Soar? Is that you? And he blinks his eyes, and he goes to take his one wing that's broken, and he's like, he's trying to clear out his eyes, and he's like, how are you here?
The portals, I traced you, or I followed the clues. I heard about an owl. What happened? And then he would kind of turn back towards just the group in general and say, "Someone help him! Help his wing, please!"
Casper is jogging up, his armor kind of jingling as he does so. Yes, I can do that. He'll kneel
Standing
down.
behind them. Yes, please.
And do. Okay, so can I do a medicine check to see what kind of way he is bad in?
Sure. Give me a medicine check, and while you're doing that, I'm going to talk about another homebrew rule that we have. With homebrew, when you level up, I'm giving everyone all the shit back, like just so everybody's aware, they all have everything back. But go ahead and give me your medicine check roll.
I got a 12.
You got a 12?
I appreciate you specifying. I still assumed that I had no spell slots left.
Yep. Sorry about that. We did talk about it, but I guess I never did say go ahead and give everything back. So with a 12, you can tell that his arm is very badly broken. As you're looking at it, it looks like somebody tried to set it, but it's been set incorrectly. As you're looking at him, also though, you can tell that he is heavily under the influence of drugs.
I lay on hands. So first of all, would using my lay on hands feature to cure a disease or neutralize a poison, does that affect drugs? Is a drug a poison?
I'm gonna go with no.
Dare would say that it is.
Yeah, but what do they know? They've been losing a war for 30, 40 years.
Yeah, where's the cure drugs?
Well, what can I do with healing powers? Can I fix broken bones with a healing power?
I think to a point you can. Obviously, you can't bring back hands if they're not there. But we'll say that with this, you can fix his limb, and we'll say that you can take the high away, but that doesn't mean he's not still going to have an issue with drugs. How's that work?
Okay, yeah. So Casper kneels down and kind of gently puts himself in between Soar and his brother, and takes his hands and gently but firmly kind of guides them along his wing and onto the main part of his body, and his hands glow softly. And he's going to use as many HP as he needs to. However many Talon needs, he will heal.
1.
Up to 20, I suppose.
No, he needs 5.
Okay.
So he's sitting there, and you can, as you're doing this, everyone can see his arm start to straighten out, and the bones meld back into place. He looks at you, Casper, and he goes, "Thank you." And he starts rubbing his wing and stands up. And as he does, he just throws his arms around Soar and gives him the biggest hug.
All right,
And a little and just a little kiss. He's like,
Would you say it's a peck?
"Yes."
Hey.
I was hoping you'd go with that.
Great joke.
I would Soar would just be like, "What happens? Once we went through the portal, I need to know."
He looks at you and he goes, I landed in a strange place, and I freaked out. There was a dwarf fella who came running out of a building, and I got scared. I ran and I ran, and eventually I slowed down. I realized that I was running for no reason at all. It's scary here, but there's no reason to just run. So I started walking, trying to think where I could go, what I could do, how I could find you. And I saw a man. He was being attacked. There was a creature, and he was wearing all black. And I fought him. You would have been so proud of me. I threw myself at him, and I attacked him with all of my might. And I was thrown like I weighed nothing at all. And when I hit the wall, I broke my arm, and he holds up my wing. He holds up his wing to show you where it had been broken. He says, he puffs up his chest and he goes, "But I called down the power of Helm." And once he saw that, I could tell that he was afraid, and he ran away. I went over and saved the guy. His name was Ruger, ROO-GER, for those who are taking notes. Lisa.
Mm-hmm.
He told me that he would give me medicine, make me feel better, but I think I made a mistake. He gave me some red medicine that I didn't know at the time was called Verrast blood. I took it, and it felt like Helm's power was just surging through me all the time, like maybe I could fight Helm myself, and then it was gone just as quickly. And I made a mistake. And he buries his head in your chest, and he starts crying, and he says, I sold my armor. I sold my shield. I don't know what to do.
Insight check.
Sure, give me an insight check.
He's a lying slugger.
How dare you? That's my brother.
A 5.
Oh, you think he's 100% correct, but at that same time, he turns into a devil and eats your eyeballs.
Wow.
No,
Crazy.
you 100% believe that he's telling the truth.
Okay.
I wanted, and I was actually going to insight check the monster. You said there was a black monster?
So there was a creature in black. Yes.
Oh, creature in
you
black.
you can try to do an insight on that.
A creature in black? Not a person?
Well, you can ask him more questions.
It's a
you
4.
saying that to him?
It's a 4. But with Talon, I almost called him freaking Soar. With Talon sort of in his chest, he's gonna kind of like not push him back, but kind of lock eyes with him and say, Were you running? Like, is anybody still chasing you? Describe more about this creature that's in black. Like, what was that?
He looks at you, and he says, I think it was a human, but it fought like a beast. The strength that it had was otherworldly. I was attacking it with all of my might, and it just picked me up as if I weighed no more than a child.
Byron will walk and say, "Now, I want you to brace yourself. I may be turning into the person that you see, but I'm not actually him. I don't know how well you know magic, so bear with me." And he'll disguise self as the man he saw.
Okay.
Stranger in black.
He you can see that he is visibly afraid. He takes a step back, and then he gets some resolve, and he says, "Yes,
I'll drop it.
that was the man who did this to me."
Okay.
Did I answer all your questions, Sora? I forget if you asked more questions.
If he was being chased, because he said the dwarf chased after him.
He said, "No, I I was afraid. I was in a new land, and I thought somebody was chasing after me. He might have just been trying to get me for all, like to help me for all I know, but I was so afraid.
Okay. I'm glad you're safe. Even though I don't believe in Helm, I'm glad he protected you. We're gonna need to do something. We'll get through this together about your. And then he kind of stutters, not stutters, but he kind of hesitates, just a little bit, and just predicament.
You're going to be fine. Nyx would kneel
We-
next to him and put a little hand on his feathered shoulder to say, and you didn't make any mistakes. You trusted someone who said that they were going to help you, and they didn't. But we're going to actually help you.
As you put your hand on him, he flinches just a little bit, but then realizing that you're not going to hurt him, he kind of nuzzles in like a bird, like gets in there right up under your armpit, and he's got like a little cooing noise. I don't know what kind of noise owls makes. I probably should have looked that up, but you can tell it's like the owl equivalent of purring.
We've been looking for you, Talon. We're just glad they find you still alive.
Wouldn't they?
We saved your. We found your shield. And
He perks up. He's like, my shield.
Yes.
Yes, and I was gonna take his shield off my back and say, we can probably find your armor somewhere, but this belongs to you, and then hands him his shield.
He grabs it and quickly puts it on his arm. You can see that just having this shield makes him stronger. Whether it's his belief in Helm or having something to defend himself, he looks a little bit less fragile now that he has a shield.
A paladin.
Of Helm, yes. I see you're
Ale.
as
Eldest.
I'm not Eldith. I'm not familiar with that, but I'm glad to see another paladin.
He's a church? What are you called? You're not a church. Are you, Casper?
Sect?
The sect.
Oh, okay. His sect helped us find you. They were the ones that saw you after the portal.
Casper, do you think that the Heralds of Dawn would be willing to take Talon in for a while and help him?
Of course.
Well then, she stands and claps her hands. All right, well that's one problem solved. We just need to get him safe back to the Heralds and you'll be right as rain. After a little while.
There's also Cinnamon at the Tiefling's Touch that could probably help you if you needed more assistance.
Her
What
nose
is-
crinkles.
Ugh.
What is a cinnamon? Is it a drink?
Exactly.
No one of consequence at this point.
A snake? If that's what you think would help, sure.
I don't like snakes, but okay, if you say
Well,
so.
Then I guess we're not going back to the Tiefling's Touch anytime soon. She's seething a little bit at the mention of Cinnamon. You can tell her back kind of straightens.
Byron will enter the house.
Okay. The house looks like a war zone. You see the furniture's flipped over. Let me get closer here so I can give you better. The furniture's flipped over. There are dead bodies on the floor. As you come in, Talon walks over to one. It is a very, very very, very thin, like wasting away human. And he says, this was Ruger. Ruger has his chest ripped open. And the other people that are there, they have various bites and slashes on them. Talon looks at you all and says, I don't know what happened, but the Varas blood, there's different types, and this last batch that was brought here, it was different. It was stronger. And then there were zombies, and it all happened so fast. And
When you
Go
say
ahead,
that there
Byron.
were zombies, did you mean that the people who took the drugs turned into zombies, or zombies came out of nowhere?
No, they became zombies. They were people, and then they were zombies. Give me a history or intelligence or something. Whoever wants to.
11.
11.
Nat 20.
Okay. You would know, Nyx, that this was most likely just a drug den. There was probably, 20 or so people that were all crashed out in here. So you would imagine that the people that you see in here, the rest of them were probably the ones that you killed out in the courtyard.
The ones that just wandered out there.
Mhm.
Yeah. Is there any indication? Okay, I guess it doesn't really matter. Is there any indication that anybody else died human or died as themselves, or does it seem like everybody else shifted except for Talon?
Sure. There's a couple. There is Ruger, who died as a person. The other person over in the corner that's a skeleton, they also died as a person. And those are the only ones that you see down here.
All right, I'm gonna go sneaky over to Byron and have a little whispered conversation. Just, Byron, isn't it a little bit uncomfortable to think that Talon is the only one who made it both alive and not zombified? I'm
Well,
still in favor of dropping him off the heralds, but I have some concerns that maybe a closer eye is needed to be kept on him first.
would you care if Athena did it?
Do you think that Athena would be safe alone with him if he shifted?
I think if we escort him to the sect, I think he'll be fine. Once he's there, I think, judging by how beefy our paladin friend here is, I think they could probably wage their own against, a single zombie.
I'm not worried about them being able to take on Talon. I'm worried about what might happen if the heralds take down Soar's brother. If Soar finds out about that, that could really put a thorn in the side of
Well,
their
maybe
allies.
maybe we find someone that our paladin did what he could, but maybe one of the higher ranks has an ability to restore them fully and purge
You
him of
think?
this.
Oh, yes. Sorry.
Are we pretending we're not hearing this conversation, or
Yeah, right next to us.
okay?
Yeah, that's at that point. There was she kind of like looks around to see if anybody else is obviously listening, and then
Small
you can
house.
see. Oh yeah, I mean I'm sure, but we're trying
Yeah,
to be
what-
stealthy. I don't know. We didn't really roll a stealthy roll to see.
What's Nyx's
working.
whispering ability score?
It's she's a ghost. She's all about whispers.
You can't
She's
hear it
like,
over the change that she jangles.
Yeah, that's exactly it.
You guys would be able to, if you're trying to keep this private, just step off into a corner where people couldn't hear you.
Bam, corner.
Yep.
Do
Corner.
I have a question?
Perfect.
Is Ruger look like someone of importance here? Meaning, like, is he like the housekeeper? Because what I want to do is see if there's a map on Ruger that shows other drug house locations.
Okay. Well, you guys can search the house if you want.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why not?
Yeah.
With what?
Well, investigation. How about that? Or perception if you're just trying to look, see if things are out of place.
What if we want to find stuff? Investigation then?
Yep.
I'd rather
Three.
continue my
No!
conversation with Byron. Looking at
We got a
plans.
10.
Boy,
You got a 10 and we got a 3. Anybody
Yeah,
else
the one-
looking at stuff?
Yeah, I got a
17.
14.
Oh, thank God. One of
Okay.
us did okay.
So, you guys look around down here. You don't find anything really of substance on Ruger or the other body. There is drug paraphernalia scattered around. As you guys go upstairs, is everybody going upstairs, or is everybody staying downstairs, or?
I'll go
No.
upstairs.
Stay with Talon.
Yeah, I would stay with Talon.
Byron's upstairs already.
Okay, so Byron, you are upstairs, and what you see is this area is a little bit nicer, but obviously something terrible happened here. There is blood everywhere, and I didn't put any skeletons in there, but there is a just pulverized body in the middle of the bed. The walls are all beat up, almost as if something bigger was up here. And it's a terrible scene. There is a chest that's up there though. So if you'd like to go for that, you could.
Yeah,
tell
I'll look for traps first.
Okay. Give me a perception check.
7.
Okay. You don't think there's any traps on there?
I will take
it's locked.
Well, then I'll try and
I
pick it.
appreciate you saying 7 and not nat 1.
Well, it's a skill check, so
'Cause
Yeah. Crits and natural like 20s don't matter on skill checks, even though I might be persuaded to let them happen.
Okay.
Clem would have also come upstairs in keeping with her motto, always be a Luton.
Okay.
I rolled a 15 for thieves' tools.
Yep. You hear the satisfying click as the lock opens up. You find in there a little bit of gold, and by a little bit I mean 1,000 gold pieces.
Okay.
Yo.
You
That's divisible
find
by 5.
Where's there 1,000 gold?
a scroll. You also find what appears to be a poisoner's kit and a headband.
Like,
Okay.
what kind of headband are we talking here?
Yeah, what's up with
It
this headband?
is
Say not a cop.
it does not say not a cop. It is it's almost like a tiara mixed with a Karate Kid headband, right? So it's red silk, and sporadically there are little gems adorning the front of it.
What's the scroll?
You look it over, and it appears that this is a scroll of identify.
Okay. So
I love how Casey is pro scroll and Lisa and I are like, the headband, the
well,
headband.
no, so there's a reason. So now with this scroll, I can take a moment to transcribe that into my book, and then I can identify the headband.
Clem,
Ooh.
give me a perception check.
She's like, I put on the headband.
11.
It's cursed.
You hear Lilo out in the courtyard growling and barking. It sounds like he's got something. He's just really tearing into it.
I run down to the courtyard. We need a dog character.
He's- He's eating a zombie.
Oh, what a good girl. Where the heck did... Haha, there she is. She's on the stairs.
So Byron,
Am I
you're
able
gonna
to run out and surprise it?
not a live zombie. It's dead.
Oh, okay.
Chewing a dead zombie.
What? You wanted
Um,
to get me out of that room, you!
Somebody wrote something about
Bugger.
somebody wrote something about Lilo, and I was like, what would the dog be doing right now? Eating a zombie. Okay, so Byron, you're going to be copying the scroll. Are you doing that now? Are you doing it later?
Yeah, I'll do it now if I can.
Okay. How long does that take? Is it an hour or 10 minutes or?
I have no idea.
We're gonna hand wave the time.
Okay.
Convenient.
Yep.
I'm gonna be saying stuff to Talon.
Okay.
There's some stuff I want to ask him.
I would assume 10 minutes, maybe.
Sure.
Where did the large zombies come from?
They were guarding Mr. McGillicuddy upstairs.
They were ogres before they turned.
Yes. This is a pretty scary neighborhood.
Okay.
Oh,
Yeah, I also thought that they had like shifted into ogres after transformation.
He looks directly at you and he's like, "You were wrong."
I'm used to trial and error. That doesn't bother me. But you said that Thor before that you sold your armor. Do you remember who you sold it to?
that's what I was gonna ask. Thank you.
Me too.
To be honest, I don't remember it. I know it was in the slums. It was I'm sorry, I don't.
Do you remember what type of creature they were?
He thinks about it. He said, well, I sold my chest piece to I think it was a minotaur, and I sold my helmet to a halfling, and I sold my leg things that I can't remember what they're called right now in armor terms. I sold them to I think it was a human.
There's a lot of humans. Can you give us any more than that?
It was a male human.
Did he have 3 scars against his face and fight you like a beast?
No, that was a scary guy.
Not the scary guy. Great. Really narrowing it down here.
What kind
She's
of armor
taking
was
notes, but you can tell she's a little miffed.
It was CJ, insert type of armor here.
I know exactly what it is. It was adamantite +3 heavy armor.
Well, that sounds like bullshit you won't find for a long time.
No, it's in his backstory, actually. I remember
Absolutely.
Sure it is, in the bullet points.
I can update that wiki faster than you can, sir. Don't challenge me to add it.
Was there anything special about any of the pieces of armor, or was it just part of a set?
He straightens up and he says, Elm's blessing.
It had our father's sigil on it.
That too.
Yes, it was an arrow with a sort of like. So there's like, I don't know how to explain this really. It's like it's an air like imagine a feather, right? And then through the feather you have sort of these ornate gems like up the stem of it, I would guess. And then the outside, like I guess like the outlining of it would be a blue light ink.
Clem would have walked back in during this conversation with Lilo to avoid her chomping on zombies some more. Would she have seen this armor anywhere before, or would it sound at all familiar?
You can give me a, I guess like a history check or.
My rolls have been so great today.
Can I roll a? Okay, good.
It was an 8. There's nothing to go ahead with.
Okay. Maybe he wants to describe your failure. Can I roll?
Wow.
I've rolled 2 natural ones this session. All right.
You go to start thinking about it, and Lilo starts peeing in the corner again.
No, she is at least obedient and obedience trained basic.
She starts growling at you as you get closer. You were rolling a paladin check?
Yeah. Yeah. To see, what does he mean by blessed by Helm? Is it like is that just paladin talk for
you would
the priest?
Yeah,
Cool.
it's the armor that he got from his order.
But okay, so not like
not like God was like
okay.
boop.
Yeah. Okay. If it's spread out over that many pieces, we may never be able to recover it, unfortunately. But my order will provide you armor of some kind. This I know.
Okay. And just a little meta. What we can do if that's something you guys want to do, as you guys, if you leave him there or not, If you ask, you might be able to persuade them to go out and try to get it, and we'll base it on rolls as to whether they can find it.
Sure.
Yeah.
As long as we don't have to, I love
That'll
it.
be fun.
Yeah. I mean, so what else you guys got going? Anything else?
What did you all find upstairs?
As
Would Byron have told Clem what he found upstairs if he's still up there?
Well,
She can pass that
so
on.
now that I've, he had time to himself and transcribed the spell into the book, he's going to set it down and lay it out in front of him. And he said, well, I found this, but I'm not sure what it is. And he's going to ritual cast Identify over the headband.
Okay. So you do some fancy arm movements. I don't think that takes any rolls or anything.
It does take 10 minutes, though.
We're gonna hand wave all this time.
Okay.
But the headband starts to glow, and you see this is a headband of necromantic control. It is. It allows someone to control 2 dead creatures. They all get 1 HP, and they are under your control for 18 seconds, so 3 rounds. They have to have been recently deceased or undead. And by recently, I mean they had to have been under a minute.
Okay.
So you kill and control.
Casper, I found a headband for you.
Do you share? Do you share what that does?
Yeah, I would. I'd take a moment, and then as like I'm starting to understand it, I would start talking about what it performs and the magic it holds inside of it.
Why would that be in a chest in a trap house?
I mean, if it helps at all, there was a poisoner's kit in there which I can make use of, and I also found a whole lot of gold, and he'll just start kind of holding out gold for people, about 200 gold each. And he'll say, the upstairs is kind of a brutal massacre. I'm not sure what this individual was. Magic used for a lot of different purposes. Even Nyx can tell you yourself, just because you're dabbling in necromantic magic doesn't mean you're necessarily evil. It just means that you're testing bounds of magics in different forms. I don't know what happened upstairs, but it is a brutal mess. Whatever was up there beat this poor individual into a pulp.
You probably enjoy looking at it, Nyx.
As Byron has been talking, Nyx has been, as soon as he mentioned that what the headband does, her head snapped in that direction, and she's just been slowly inching her way over until she's just standing over his shoulder, trying to get a better look at it. And when you mention her name, Clem, she just kind of looks up and just goes, Yeah.
Pulverized body upstairs?
Yes,
Kind of like your thing.
Upstairs. Absolutely. Do you think they've been dead for under a minute?
Yeah, they've been dead a while. I was upstairs for a while transcribing this. You guys probably didn't even notice I was gone.
I did.
I will check
not.
that out. And she kind of pulls herself away like one shoulder at a time, but her neck's still craning at that headband. And she makes her way upstairs, a little bit begrudgingly.
As you turn to walk up the stairs, Byron's going to whip it over your forehead and tie it behind you, keeping you from walking off.
Oh, thank you. Did you check to see if it was cursed? What if this thing's cursed? She kind of knocks on it a little bit and tries to tug it off just to make sure that it...
Yeah, it comes right off.
Byron's like, I didn't know that was a thing. That you can curse things with magic too. Yeah, I learn something new every day.
You can curse so many things with magic, but thank you. Thank you, Byron. It is much appreciated, and I will absolutely put this to good use. More or less.
Emphasis on good.
She's giggling and just kind of runs up the rest away upstairs to check out.
So, Nyx, as you walk up the stairs, you are greeted with a extremely gruesome scene. And as you take a step, your foot steps into a pool of blood, and all of a sudden, you are seeing something from your past. You are seeing yourself, and you are standing on a small rise. Before you is a town that is on fire. You see before you the town of Hopdan Creek. The buildings are on fire. There's chaos. There are people running everywhere, and you hear a deep guttural laugh that is going on for a long while before you realize that it is you that is making this sound. And as you are doing that, your hands are moving back and forth very quickly, and you understand that you are the one controlling the zombies who are going into Hopdan Creek. And just like that, you're back and you can see the gruesome scene before you.
She freezes in her step and kind of like skitters to a halt, and then with somewhat shaky hands would remove the headband from her head and hold it in her hands. And with one hand on the headband, the other hand she would clutch at the symbol of Sarenrae that she keeps on her hip. And with her breathing heavy, she just kind of speaks to herself and just, okay, calm down. Calm down. That was all in the past. This is different. This is different. And we're better than that now. Okay? Okay. Yeah. And she kind of recenters herself and takes another look around the room with slightly fresh eyes. Is there anything obviously in place, out of place, other than the corpses that are here?
No,
Because
you don't even need to
not-
do. You don't even need to do like a medicine check. You can tell that this was just brutal, unadulterated violence. You would imagine, hearing that Talon said those bigger guys were up here, that they just went crazy, smashed this guy to death, and then made their way down the stairs.
Okay. She does kind of a once-over of the room, takes it in, and then will very slowly and a little bit more somberly will kind of make her way back downstairs. And she'll kind of pause before she gets back into the eyesight of the rest of the group to sort of collect herself a little bit more. And then we'll just kind of slink back down to join the party without hopefully raising much of a fuss.
Point of clarification, the headband caused that reflection, or the fact that she stepped into a puddle of blood?
It was something that you don't know yet.
Okay.
The headband is not cursed. I know that I have cursed you guys with items in the past if you guys played with me before, but I promise you will know if I've given you a cursed item. This is not it.
Okay.
All right, what do you guys want to do?
Well, I think we need to deliver Talon to safety, correct?
Talon is not a package. It's a person. We need to. What I would say
escort
is
Talon to safety.
Thank you. That is my brother you're speaking about. Talon, we are going to take you to the sect of Eldath.
Just for clarification, so Ruger was a person that was here.
Yes, he's the dead guy standing directly in front, or laying directly before you.
Okay.
He was the human who was emaciated. I didn't use that word, but he had his chest ripped open.
Oh, well, I guess one thing I would ask Talon is, so a couple questions. I would be like, Talon, like, do you remember, if there were any, like, shipments of drugs coming in, or any, I guess, names or places you might have heard of that we need to probably check out?
I guess it was 2 days ago. There was she was a big woman, very tall, very muscular. She came here and dropped off a batch of drugs. And he tells you about like 2 other places in the area that he bought drugs, but that's all he can tell you.
I would kind of mark those on our map as
Sure.
places of interest to check out.
Sure.
And then I would just kind of once over, see how he's doing, because I know with sort of coming down from the high and all that stuff, just making sure that he's right in his mind and he's set and not going to be all crazy. You know.
He looks at you and you can see that he is not feeling well. His skin is his feathers are kind of the equivalent of very pale. You can see he looks like he's sick. And he looks at you and he goes, "Brother, my feathers feel as if they are on fire. But I will be strong."
Do
Alright,
I think I can make some type of antidote for him with the poisoner's kit by chance? Is that something that's possible?
Oh,
Give
like
me-
an anti-poisoner's kit.
Give me a medicine check.
Can I do a blood transfusion so he doesn't turn into a zombie? We're twins, so.
A 9.
So this is just a little too new for you to know what you would need to essentially stop somebody from being dope sick.
Yep.
Question about the big beefy lady that he described. Just
Mhm.
curious. I feel like a suspicion that I think I know who this person is, but it's like, is there any chance that this would remind us of one of the players that we met during the meeting of the 4 factions, the big 4?
Maybe.
Okay. It's either that, or I'm thinking that it might be a particular half-orc that I don't believe we've canonically
me.
met in the campaign yet. I said half-orc.
Talon freaks out. He's like, "Oh my god, it was you!" Ah!
You got big, you got beefy, but unfortunately,
Burning hands.
last one not
Full
quite.
orc, baby.
Okay. I think I might have an idea what's happening. All right. Nyx is too
Let's-
shaken. Damn it. We should get our boy back to Heralds of the Dawn
Correct.
and then
Okay.
scurry on.
You guys are heading back, and as you guys get away from the slums and head back towards Casper's order, give me a perception check, everybody.
16.
Then
Nat 20.
Another
Again.
one. Wow.
She's jittery. She's like all up in her feels right now, so
Clem.
she's just she's gone
So-
Got a 13.
You guys, she's just trying to, I mean, you don't know where Lilo got all this piss from, but she is just pissing everywhere. But everybody else, you guys are hearing people talking as you're walking back, and they're talking about the dragon, right? And they're saying, they're all trying to get a look at at where where she went. They're saying, you hear, it looks like she landed at the Crimson Writ facility, and she's so pretty, and I wonder if she's really made of gold. And I heard she single-handedly defeated the giants that were coming towards the Grey Mist Mountains from the Frost Elm Mountains. That's a little child. They have a little tiny sword made out of wood,
Sebastian.
and it's not Sebastian, but in true Sebastian manner, it looks at you and it's like, "What the fuck are you looking at?" And it runs away and giggles as it's running away into the night.
Vicious mockery.
How much damage do I take?
So, you guys make it back to Eldath's. Why can't I think what it's called? Casper, what's
Heralds
your order?
of the Dawn.
Thank you, Heralds of the Dawn. We make it back to Heralds of the Dawn, and do you guys want to do anything else? Or are you just dropping Talon off there?
I was gonna ask them if we can long rest here.
Oh yeah.
Yep, for sure. They let you there. They let you have a full night's rest. Did you want them to look for the
Yes.
stuff for you?
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
Armor.
please.
Okay.
Um,
So
Alan can work with them to give them all their
Yep.
information.
yep. Wait, I need names.
Emily will not be the one rolling for how successful they are at finding the armor.
Can I also, this might be relevant, maybe not, donate 100 gold to them? Just
Sure. Yep. Yep.
cost to do it.
You do that, and as you do, you hear the paywall lift, and you hear the blessing come down, and you get inspiration.
Thank you.
Ooh, for being a good
Um, so, Father, what is Urisi? Is that what we're calling him?
Urusai.
Urusai, sorry. Father Urusai
Mm.
takes you aside and says, thank you for the kind donation, and we of course will keep this poor Alfolk here. He'll be here a few days before he can shake this, but we will keep him under our watch. You wanted us to look for what again? It was,
His armor is he lost his armor.
Okay.
In many pieces in the slums. So, and of course, I'm still a member of your flock, so I share my earnings accordingly. Thank you for allowing us to stay here, and thank you for taking in a fellow paladin.
He looks at you and he goes, "Of course, my child," and then apologizes for cutting you off.
He, from what I understand, he is not from this plane, so you can get some interesting stories from him.
He looks at you and he goes, This is the Alfolk?"
Assuming he's looking at Talon. Yes. Yep.
And he's now very, very intrigued because that would be, I believe, number 2 of the prophecy.
Oh, is it? Shit.
100% it is, yeah.
Oh, God.
Dude's coming from other
Sorry.
places. Dude's coming from other planets, my man.
He just starts sweating like the guy from Get Out.
The appearance
So,
of creatures from other worlds.
Coincidence, I'm sure.
But so how this is going to work is every time that you come back here, we'll have you roll a straight D20, and it's going to get progressively harder. So it'll be 15, 17, 20 to be able to find his armor.
Oh.
Define come back here. Can we just
So
come back every 10 minutes? Maybe?
Yeah. Can
no,
we send-
like one. If you come back every day, you can check. You can make the check once per day. How about that?
Okay. Can we send a letter if we're far off?
A proxy to make the roll for us.
Nope. But if you guys would
Person?
go somewhere, and you're gone for 2 weeks or whatever, I'll allow you to roll 14 times at one time in the chat because it'll be easier.
Okay.
I don't know. Sounds like if we come back here every time, that's more FaceTime with Hottie with the naughty.
Yes, please.
Is he around, by the way? What's Tom Basker up to?
Oh, Tom, when you guys get there, he's in the courtyard. He is shirtless and he's chopping wood.
Nice.
Would Nix agree to go with Clem and just like stand there in the doorway, just like getting very distracted?
Creeper
I
status?
think Nix
Yeah.
wouldn't get it at first until she actually saw him and then would be like, oh god, this is what it's like to feel things again. Ah, forgotten.
Casper is leaving
Yeah,
the
shooting.
building as you guys are there, and he just, as he walks past, he just casually says, "He's single, you know."
Oh, does Casper go? Does Casper also lean on the door and go, ah?
Oh,
As-
Casper's seen that many times.
As you guys are saying this, he walks over and they have a makeshift shower and he pulls the cord and a bucket pours water on his head and he just flips his hair back and then walks in to the building, never to be seen again until you ask to talk
I say
about him.
Byron walks in the building after him.
Byron would stop at the doorway and sigh with us.
You hear the
All right.
rhythmic slapping as the the camera goes
Whoa.
black and you guys wake up the next morning.
So,
Byron can't get dibs on everybody.
I never said it was Byron.
so
I mean, that's
where would you guys
irrelevant.
like
All
to?
right, apparently we're going to the Crimson Road to go check out our dragon babe.
I like how all other plans have been abandoned. What? There's a dragon land? Yeah, we're going there.
All right, so you guys want to go to the Crimson
am I
Red?
wrong?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry,
Okay.
no, Lisa, you're not wrong. Yes, we're going to Crimson Red.
Okay, so I will.
Soar and Talon will like to have one final goodbye as they sit on the pews, I assume, at the Heralds of Dawn. They
Mhm.
just reminisce about the times of all their pilgrimage and how it's going to create a stronger bond for them in the community. And to remember that all this is for Father Ruffle and Mother Glide.
Oh, don't be making up names.
Those are
Father-
actually canon names.
Ruffle and Father Ruffle and what?
Mother
Mother
Glide.
Mother
It's their parents.
Glide. I am writing them down. I am.
If you read the wiki, sir.
You know I can't read.
Thanks,
Can we
thank
make
you,
our
chat,
first
for the
roll?
reminder.
Can you make a what?
Our first roll for the armor before we leave.
It's
sure, why the
just
hell not?
it's sitting on the curb right outside the.
Well,
Who
how
wants to
many
roll?
minotaurs can there be? No,
Tom-
actually, I
Tom
take it back.
ba-
This is a huge city.
Oh, I
What'd you
didn't
get?
roll.
Oh, sweetheart.
I didn't roll a natural one.
Oh, they come back and they find it. It's all been shredded apart. No, they just didn't find it.
Okay.
All right,
Okay.
let's see here.
Crimson
So,
Red.
do we know the way to Crimson Red?
Yes.
I'm guessing somebody fucking remembers how we get there.
Oh, it's just west of here.
I feel like we discussed and I knew where it was back when I was trying to get an in with the lady whose name is escaping me.
Look at that
Ugh.
sexy
Lana
thing.
Sister.
Yes.
She wears skin-tight leather, and her cloak makes her blink in and out of existence. And she apparently, Clem, uses some of your weapons, which I don't think
Mhm.
is all that
I just
surprising.
want
I
an
think a
in
lot
with
of people-
her so bad.
Okay.
Yeah, I think
So
that she had to like come back to us.
Oh, it's a big dragon.
the
Big dragon. Oh, big dragon. I
My
love
God.
Tailspire. Ooh.
the Crimson Writ is in the bank/university district. Oh no, get that back in there. So you guys can reference the map and figure that out. For those of you in chat, use your imagination. That's exactly where it's at. So you guys, what's that?
And last time we learned the dragon's name was Aruma. And she was
Yes.
like a red and gold, a rose gold dragon.
Rose gold. Oh,
Yep.
so
Just as,
pretty.
just as a refresher.
Yep. So you guys come up to it's a rather large residence, I guess, for lack of a better term. And this I got off of Tales Bazaar. It is by J.K. Reno, and it's called Adventurers Guild Map.
Thank you, J.K. Reno.
Yep.
Man,
So
how
you guys walk
hot
up to
that
this-
fire got to be that it's got a flame coming out of the chimney.
I love that. What a good detail, though.
So this
How
is
cute.
a rather besides the fact that it's gigantic, it is an unsuspecting building. There are low stone walls around all of it. But the biggest thing that you guys notice is a gigantic dragon nested, or not nested, but just perched in the back on top of a giant rock. You would know that this is in fact the rose gold dragon that you have seen.
Does it seem
you-
like we can approach that kind of thing?
I mean, you can try. You do realize that while it's not unbearable, just being within this distance makes everything hotter, right? Like it's noticeably hotter than 300 feet behind you.
Environmental.
You know who's used to heat?
Not me, because I'm
Ooh.
flammable.
Rend?
Well played.
I mean, I would argue that both our brilliant blacksmith but also her teeny dragon, who is also a dragon.
It's so funny because I had to refresh. Oh, there she is. I was going to say she was not showing up for a second there. Clem would just like book it over to the dragon in a respectful manner so as not to like freak her out, but also in a very excited like.
Just imagine running a dragon.
No, she's smart enough. She likes animals enough. Like, obviously, this is like more intelligent and not like an animal per se, but you know what I mean. But she would absolutely approach.
So as you guys get closer, Byron, do you want to say something before I go into this description?
No, I have something to say to the dragon whenever we get there. So,
as you guys get closer, there is a low guttural reverberation that you can feel in your chests. And it's not even so much that the dragon is making a noise as it is making a bass so low that you can feel it but can't hear it. And that is as you guys are getting closer. It doesn't seem like it's hostile because obviously you would think that anything like this would be afraid of you.
Okay, wait. Where is...
As we approach, Byron in Draconic will just say, "Hello, Aruma. We are friendly visitors."
It says back in Draconic, "Leave me now, fool, before I rend the flesh from your bones."
Guys, we might want to go.
Wait.
Why?
What is this bird creature? It looks delicious. And then it snorts like...
I'm hiding in the tree, so because I'm flammable, so I will fly the fuck away.
I would say Donut the Destroyer, meanwhile, is probably like sitting on Clem's shoulder, like starting to like stomp her feet and get excited about seeing like a big old dragon here. You know what I mean? And it's just and might start like flittering around like, oh my gosh, look.
Does anybody else speak Draconic?
I do not.
Speak Abyssal. Does she speak Abyssal?
Nope.
I chose not to take comprehend languages when we leveled up, so
Nice.
no.
I think
So Byron, you are the
Yeah.
only one that hears as Aruma looks directly at Donut the Destroyer and says, "Why do you sit upon the shoulder of such a lesser being? You should rise up and tear the throat from this peasant."
Clem.
What a party pooper! Yes.
We might want to leave.
Okay. She whistles. She knows when Byron's getting serious about something, so she'll whistle to Donut and just kind of like trudge off very sadly.
As the group starts to leave,
Byron?
Byron will just say back in Draconic, "Until we meet again."
And it looks directly at you. And with an imperceptible, well, not imperceptible, but just a gentle nod, it tilts his head, as in, like, yes.
Yes,
You're
Nix.
in.
I want to be
Byron,
in with the
we
dragon
should
so
ask
bad.
her about the unearthed. We should ask her about the unearthed dragon. Is that what you mentioned?
About the what?
The unearthed dragon. She's raising her voice a little bit. The one that was told to us by the heralds of the dawn. She's a dragon. Maybe she knows something else about the last part of the prophecy.
So my issue is,
She will
that
turn back to the dragon.
she doesn't seem happy that we're here. So you may not
It's
understand
a
what she
small
said.
Question.
Yes, but she said that she wanted to rend the flesh from our bones, and that kind of makes me a bit concerned.
You as you guys are still talking, there is just a little bit of fire that started to come up around the outside of her maw.
Nix, we will talk to her at another point in time when she seems more friendly. Not now.
The smoke is enough. So Nyx will kind of give her like a bit of a half curtsy, a bit awkwardly, and then we'll skitter away after
While
the group.
while they were having that conversation, Clem would have already been knocking on the door to get in.
Okay.
She's just throwing a tantrum now about the mean old dragon.
You go to open up the door. Byron, give me a perception check as you leave.
Bum, bum. 14.
Okay. You, as you're walking away, you hear "one day soon" as you walk around the corner, as Aruma is muttering to herself as you walk away.
Casper tries to be the last one to leave anyway. He kind of gives the dragon sizes it up a little bit, like an interested look, before he turns and he leaves.
You would know that even in your advanced state of buffery, you could not lift this thing. It is gigantic.
Goals, but
Love to see that.
Okay.
I am a dragon.
No, that's what
We
you're
have a
trying to
Casper.
do.
How much more beefing can Rob do so that he can just merely lift a dragon?
Can we get
Dude, I
an
wouldn't trust
actual poundage? That sounds really bad. Can we get an actual weight to the dragon?
Yes, this is very important.
Poundage.
If somebody wants to give me
Whatever Rob can lift times 4.
if somebody wants to give me a nature check, I will be doing some Googling.
Okay.
Can more than one of us nature check, please?
Yep.
That's
Well, that tracks.
that's a 17, but I'm pretty sure with my curiosity bonus, that's a nat 20.
I rolled a 22.
14.
Well, 6. There is just no rolling well for me tonight.
So, you would know that this is an ancient dragon. And if you had to ballpark it, you would say it would weigh up to 160,000 pounds.
What?
I'm pretty sure that's
So he's
no.
got a couple
There's
levels to
no
go.
way it weighs that much.
I'm
those
stealing this
levels
directly
away.
from the internet. It says, well, this is
Then
saying the
ask.
black dragon,
Well,
but
then
it grows
no,
up to a
it's
maximum
possible.
size of 16 feet tall, 85 feet in length, and a wingspan of 80 feet. They weigh up to 160,000 pounds. We'll say since she's been dieting, she's 149,412.
I would like to
her.
see your
Good for her.
sources, sir.
That's crazy.
According to Reddit,
Yes, 20,000 to
Yep.
80,000 for huge-sized dragons, according to the
This is-
Draconomicon.
But this is ancient, not huge.
whatever.
Well, yeah.
Let's see here. This is going into.
Historians and anthropologists alike all over
I
this
take
world.
it back. I just
They don't
found
have an
that.
accurate read for
Justin.
sure. It varies quite a
They're
bit.
like, you
Yeah.
know, we tried to put enough of the weights on one scale, but the dragon got really angry and just destroyed the scale.
Ate everyone. Yep. So, you guys go up to the building. As you get closer, you can hear bustling inside. And then if you want to open up the door, you certainly can. I
Yes,
can open it for you.
please.
Is the
Yeah,
door
you
not
don't know how to
open?
do that.
Boop. You right click on the door. It'll have a little black circle with a plus on it. It says open. You click on it and I open the door for you.
Oh, thank you.
Okay, so you guys walk into a very a very hectic room. One thing that you would immediately notice is where everything else there was a ton of the bright neon everywhere. This is not. This is your more traditional high fantasy lodge. feel. Lots of wood on the walls. There's bearskin rugs. There is a desk where somebody is cataloging things. And as you walk in, you see that Lana is standing in the middle, and she is directing the flow of everything. What do you want to do?
I'd like to approach Lana and ask her, why is your dragon so unfriendly?
She looks at you and she goes, "This is not my dragon. Do you know nothing, girl?"
I know technically she's not your dragon, but she is here and she was very rude to us.
Listen. I don't have time to babysit you. That outside, she is a big deal. And shit, I need to make better notes. And at the same time, Firewalker is here. You guys cannot be getting in my fucking way when it's like this. Like, these are the true people behind Prowler. I don't know what the fuck you guys are doing here, but I don't have time to deal with people like you when important people are here.
Clem is going to go up to her. How can we help?
First, Clem, I need from you a perception check.
Fuck off.
That's been going so well. A 6! Have I rolled above a 10 today at all? So.
I'm going to give you advantage on this one because it's something that would stand out to you.
A 7, Justin. That's
Okay, well,
listen.
Not standing out that much.
I don't know if there's
Can I get
anybody in chat that would like to
triple
fix that, but no, I can't
my
help you that
God,
much. The
you
dice don't
guys.
want you to know. The
My
dice do
rolls
not want you to
are
know.
the shittiest tonight.
Let me
I
go
need
through.
inspiration so badly.
Let me change pages because that doesn't matter anymore.
What are...
I want
Is it something that anyone else would notice?
Yeah, sure. You guys would give me a glory. Go ahead. Give me a perception check.
I
We
quit.
would love to.
Quit everything.
Oh my god!
Nope.
We're so bad!
Pass. None of us are
In
paying
case-
attention.
In case chat was wondering, a 6, 7, 9, 9, 4, and a 22.
I want to pay attention so bad.
Lana's
So-
like, I could not care less about any of you dummies except for the big beefy orc and the Heralds of the Dawn garb. He
Is she-
apparently is important enough.
Is she interested in Casper?
Bitter.
Who isn't?
It's a perception check.
Casper, you see in the corner talking to a female satyr, the same person that Clem gave her package to at the Element Meadery.
I don't think anyone saw me give the package though.
Okay, you saw somebody that you saw at the Element Meadery.
I was very discreet. I was not rolling so poorly that
I
night.
didn't say
that is
all
that
of
is
a
true.
sudden Emily is like, no metagaming.
I'm so bitter about my role.
Okay. Fair enough. Which corner specifically? Sorry.
It's I guess I should have put them on the board, but over here. See where the light's at in the corner?
Are they sitting at a table or are they just huddled in a corner?
They're huddled in a corner. You would imagine these people do not want to be seen. But Clem, I interrupted you. You wanted to do something.
I was just asking Lana how we can help. Now my motivation has waned strongly because of my poor. But she just asked because she was going on that whole tear about how busy they are with everything. So she would just say, "How can we help?"
You mentioned the Firewalker, the true power behind Prowler.
But yes, she said that. Yes. So, as you get closer to Lana, she sniffs the air. She's like, "Do you know someone named Zergaz?"
No.
He says to
Clem is
Clem.
just gonna give like a short, as discreet of a nod as she can physically manage.
Stealth.
I wish you would have come at a time when I'm not this busy. Okay, I have stuff that I need to do, but I understand now that you have a common goal with me.
Is there
if
something that
you-
we can take off your plate so you can do whatever you need to do easier?
Yes. It's. I have a hard time apologizing. I have to apologize to you. There are reports of a kobold riding an undead scorpion, which, if I'm not mistaken, is the creature that attacked you. That is south of the city. I'd ask you to help me out in the name of a friend. And she looks at Clem and winks, like real obnoxiously, like.
Wait, could you do that wink again one more time, Justin? That'd be great.
What do you think, gang?
I think we would be fools to say no.
I think that guy was pretty obnoxious last time we ran into him, and I'd love to get a crack at him again.
We'll need more information.
She looks at you and calls over, and she's like beckoning over, and she says, "Look, I apologize for being short when you came in. It's not every day that these two show up, and I have to take care of some stuff. But I have a blade and a seeker. They will come and give you more information." And as that happens, she says, "Come see me when you're done, and we can talk more." And she turns around and walks away, and out of the room, in the door behind you, where's my mouse? This door over here, comes one of the largest women that you have ever seen. It is a female Goliath. She is, let me grab my description.
Beefy woman, you say?
Does she fit a description?
She is, you would guess she's probably mid to late 20s. She has longer red hair with leather armor, and just the tribal tattoos that Goliaths tend to have running up and down both of her arms, across, not going the whole way over to her neck, but then down. You can see it's going underneath where her leather armor is. You would imagine it goes farther down. And she is barefoot and carrying one of the largest swords that you have ever seen. So
X on it.
give me a perception check.
Everyone?
Clem specifically.
Okay.
Well,
You do not see an X on it.
my highest roll tonight.
But she and Lana walk back past the desk where people are writing things down, past a giant table with maps and things on it, and into a locked room in the back.
Clem is gonna lean into Nyx and like try to quietly mutter, like, did Talon mention what species the beefy woman he had talked about was?
She would sigh dramatically and cross her arms in front of her. No, we didn't get a lot of information from him out of this species. Could be her.
At the very
Could
least,
be a handful of other gals too, though.
At the very least, we have an idea what she looks like. I can show him her, and we can get an estimation if that's the same individual.
Byron, this was a whispered conversation between the ladies,
Oh, I didn't realize that.
which we didn't roll for, but I fully canonically believe that Byron is eavesdropping on every single one of us 100% of the time now.
I fully canonically believe you guys just aren't very good at whispering.
We haven't
I
rolled
We
for it,
always hear
have
it anyway.
find both are true. I only believe the Byron eavesdropping because he also prestidigitates our food so that it will taste better, so we like being in his presence.
Oh
more.
yeah, he's constantly just like, I need to know what they like. I'm gonna turn myself into that person.
I'm gonna so we're going into that room. Is that what we're doing next?
No, that is where Lana and Firewalker went.
Oh, okay. Well, in the meantime, Casper's gonna point in the corner that he saw the two people scheming. That's not Lana and Firewalker, right? Those are two.
No, nope.
Okay.
It's just
there's someone from the Element Meadery over in that corner doing something sneaky. If anybody cares.
Nyx would blatantly turn her head and stare at the person that he's pointing to.
Don't look, but look.
Oh.
Oh, I don't care. You can look if you want.
Should we talk to them?
We
They're
could.
from the Element Meadery. Do you think
might
they
be
know
gone
something?
by the time we're done.
Better to get in now then. And I will stroll right on up to them.
Hey, Casper.
And I didn't see which table they were at. Are they this one? This one? This one?
whatever table you're at.
Perfect.
I ran away to a different board. Hold on.
Hey, Casper, can I
Yes.
borrow that dagger we found in the house of the necromancer?
Yes, actually, I meant to just give it to you. You can keep it for as long as you need.
Thanks.
Do their hands touch as they pass the dagger between them?
Nope.
Byron swoons a little.
Casper
By-
flips the
Byron-
dagger over, and Byron takes it, and their hands are just.
Byron
Hands
leans up
clasped
against
and
the
they look up
wall
at each other.
while the rest of them are in the corner talking to the person, and Byron starts cleaning his nails.
So
is-
the scarecrow person is a satyr. I don't think there's a satyr. And the mage character, that is the other guy.
Is this a bar over here, Justin?
Yep, that is a bar.
Would there happen to be a bartender there?
You don't think there's anybody there, and then out of nowhere,
Hi, how can I help
a
you?
bartender.
I can go serve herself. Okay.
A bartender pops by and he's like, "Oh, what can I get for you? I was just down here behind the bar cleaning these glasses."
Just something simple. You can let, if you want, Nyx and Casper go first. I just want to ask about the scorpion, but I don't mind waiting on if someone else wants to.
Okay, so you are going to be talking to, actually, everybody give me a history check. Oh, it's a gato.
11.
13.
Okay, 5. Just rolling.
7. Hell yeah.
Someone needs to sprinkle some magic dust on me, I swear.
Somebody give her Varas blood. So with a 13, you would know, Nyx, that the Crimson Writ has 3. I don't want to say this wrong. It's 3 different, essentially houses. So there's blades, there are seekers, and there are agents. And blades are assassins, seekers are like bounty hunters, and agents are spies. So they had told you they were sending over a blade and a seeker to talk to you guys about the kobold and the scorpion.
Does that have anything to do with the 2 people that I just approached?
No, I was just
Right,
letting you know
anyway.
because, yep. So the people that you approached, there was a halfling. I guess I should have used a halfling character. I panicked. Hold on, let me find a halfling.
Okay.
Halfling.
The halfling's the one that I had talked to at the
I mean,
meadery,
with
right?
Yep.
So knowing that there's the 3 different organizations within the Crimson Writ, just kind of taking a look around this place, is it obvious which ones belong to which?
Yeah, they would have some markings. Like there would the blades obviously would have a little patch that has like a knife on it. The seekers would have it looks like a dotted line with an X on it, and then there is the agents who are a spyglass.
And we're talking to a blade and a seeker.
Well, over in the corner, these are other people, but the blade and the
Yeah.
seeker were coming to talk to you. Yes,
Okay, cool. I'm sorry. I just want to make sure.
that's okay. Yep.
Okay, cool. And then the folks that are over here, are they part of the Crimson Writ? Are they wearing any kind of badge?
You go over to them. Give me a perception check.
Okay. Yeah, I would kind of check them out before I'm approaching, just to kind of get an idea of if they are super. Am I going over alone, Casper? You come with me?
Sure.
Okay.
Hell yeah. You know.
Yeah, I rolled a 7, so I have no idea how engaged they are in conversation, but I'm trying to get a sense of like if they're part of the Crimson Writ, if they look like they're really deeply involved in something, if they're being stealthy.
You said
but
you
I
rolled a
only-
7.
but I only rolled a 7, so
You get over and they're talking and not paying any attention to you at all, but you're also not sure what is going on with them. You can't really see the way that they're sitting. Their arms aren't really showing where like the patches would be, so you're not really sure. And you see they're talking and they're like and then I stole pretty much everything that they had in their bank account. Hello. Can I help you?
hello. Maybe. May I? And she takes a seat without waiting for an answer from them. This is a friend of mine. My name is Nyx. His name is Casper. Lovely to meet you.
Holy shit!
Mm-hmm.
You are thick, boy. Like you benched 3 tons.
A little more.
Oh,
I remember
Jesus. Or death.
you. Good guess. You were at the Elven Readery.
He looks all shifty and he's like, who wants to know? Your hat says you're not a
money.
cop, but getting real
Because
cop
we're-
vibes right now.
It takes us- Forget
Oh,
that.
you are a cop. I knew it.
We're not cops, but we are looking for a little bit of information, and maybe you two lovely folks can help us.
What are you looking for?
I have a laundry list of things that I want to ask.
Casper shrugs. He has no idea.
I just walked over here.
We're trying to track down a little red substance. We're hoping that we can maybe find someone big and beefy who might be trading in something called blood, if you've heard of it.
He looks at the satyr and he's like, oh, these guys want drugs. You can get them
We're trying to
drugs.
get fucked up.
He looks at you and he slides a little baggie across the table. He says, "That'll be 1 gold."
Is it?
What?
Can I look inside? Is
And-
it Verass blood, or is it something totally else?
No, this would be Verass blood.
That's
Yeah,
cheap.
I will. Yeah, I will totally buy it for the 1 gold. And say this is great, but it's also, I'm reborn, in case you couldn't tell. It takes a lot for me to really feel anything, so this is a great starting place. But is there any chance that you know where I could get like a lot more of this stuff?
He looks at you and he goes, "No shit, I just thought you were blue."
Common misconception.
He looks around. He's like, I'm not a big. Is that? And he looks across the thing and sees Clem. He's like, holy shit! I just saw her the other day.
Oh,
Clem.
Clem's head would turn.
Nyx would wave her over.
She go back. Boop, boop, boop. Yes.
I remember you from the other day, but and then you see his eyes change color a little bit, and he's like, "Holy shit! I took you long enough to get your ass over here. I had to test you first to make sure that you weren't gonna, rat me out. But this is a safe place for you. Me and Lana, we go real fucking far back. Like, me and her, we're fucking solid. So I was trying to give you a place to be, and it looks like you just weren't paying attention. I don't know what the fuck is up with you today. You were way out of it."
You're spaced out, kid.
Thanks for the reminder. Say yes. Well, it's been a busy day.
What of this are Casper and I hearing?
You guys are seeing them just staring into each other's eyes. Because you said you don't say this stuff out loud, right?
Yeah, I said I would like the don't communicate out loud so that I don't have to every time specify that I'm not talking.
That's what I thought. So there, you just see them. It looks like they're getting close to like kiss or something, but they're having a conversation in their head.
Casper looks the next like, what?
Should we? I don't. Okay.
How embarrassing.
What's the buddy doing? What's the satyr doing?
Just all of a sudden started looking in the opposite direction, like just staring at the ceiling, staring at her hooves.
Okay. Casper's gonna put his hand on Clem's shoulder. I mean, they could be talking during this, but after like 15 seconds, if it goes more than that.
And as you put your hand on her shoulder, you hear, so anyway, you can, oh shit. And you hit the halfling's eyes fade out of being black. And the guy comes back, the halfling comes back, and he's like, oh, that's weird. Sometimes I just fade in and out like that.
I don't speak Infernal, by the way.
What were we talking about? You speak Infernal?
I do. Oh.
Okay.
Is that the halfling saying that?
No.
I speak Infernal, by the way.
No, you didn't need to. When you touched her, you could hear the voice.
Okay. Sorry, I didn't want to take away from Clem talking to her patron. So, if you guys were talking.
Essentially, Clem, he just told you that this is a safe place for you, because he's in with this place.
She still doesn't even really know that much about like who he is or what his whole deal is. So she's just gonna look back in her head, even if she's gonna try and like shrug off Casper's hand since he had stopped talking when he did that, and just say, we'll finish this conversation later.
And you just hear very lightly, like, you bet your fucking ass we will.
Well.
Clem, what was that? What were you doing?
I mean, just catching up with I met him back at the Element Meadery. Just catching up.
That was when you met each other? And that was a very intimate gaze that you held.
Oh, sorry, I must have zoned out.
As I stare into another person's eyes.
Clem, you're an odd one.
Okay.
Thank you.
The halfling looks up at you and he's like, my name's Armando, by the way.
Thanks, Armando. I really, really appreciate the, And
that's anytime you need the drugs, you just come to Armando Hafatorio.
Okay, we got to figure out who Armando's supplier is. First, we'll follow him. We're gonna trace this shit back to its source.
You know I'm still here, right? You were a terrible whisperer.
Fuck off.
Just as
Where-
a hint here, the true power behind Prowler is here. Once again, another Prowler connection behind Veras Blood.
Yeah.
Just-
All right,
Where-
let's
where-
rejoin.
Where do you
Well-
buy your drugs? Where do you buy Veras blood?
Just like that.
That is exactly how Casper would do it.
Here is my
We
shield.
can ask, we can see if he knows anything.
Armando looks at the satyr and is like, Jessica, do you think we trust him? I mean, he was wearing a hat that said not a cop, but now he's not wearing a hat that says he's not a cop.
I am going to mage hand the hat back onto Casper.
I have no authority over my own fashion. It's dictated entirely by the party.
He looks at you. Give me a persuasion check.
No.
Okay.
I want to do an intimidate.
Okay.
I want to do an intimidation.
Give me that I'm intimidated by your hulking man mass, and I prefer that you give me an intimidation check.
Casper senses that they're like maybe not going to tell him. He's going to slam his fist down on the table and say, "I am not a cop. I am something much worse than that. I'm a paladin of the Heralds of Dawn, and we don't report to the government."
Clem is gonna lean over to Nyx and be like, "Am I the only one who is super turned on by this right now?"
Yeah.
She's gonna look and make eye contact with Byron, assuming he's hearing any of this.
Byron's across the room waiting on the seeker and agent to show up where Lana said that they would be, cleaning his nails. He's not even in like the same room as you guys.
So,
We'll get
Byron,
back there. We'll catch
Byron, you're over there, but I need Casper. I need a intimidation roll.
Okay, a
up. Oh, can
nine,
we
I'm
like?
using
Can
advantage.
Clem and I stand next to him with our arms crossed, just going like, "Yeah, that's right."
Not after
Clem
he
would-
already rolled.
And
I
Clem would
gotta-
also not do that.
I got a 16.
A 16. You slam your hand down on the table. At least I think you said it was your hand.
And it splinters into 1,000 pieces.
And the halfling takes a step back and he's like, fuck, man. Like, Jesus, like, no, don't ever let anybody tell you Armando's a dumb man. I get mine from the what's left of the White Lions.
Would
Okay,
we
what
know
do we
that
know?
name?
Yeah, can we get some history?
I know we
You can
know.
give me a history check, Casper, since you were there.
I'm there too.
Wait, I'm
Okay,
there.
you can too.
Me
Go ahead,
too?
you're there. Yep.
Nat 20, y'all. I
16.
think that's my third
13.
Nat 20 tonight.
Okay. So
I
you
don't know
guys would know that they
Sounds
are a gang in the dock area.
That's it. All right. Well, what do you mean? What's left of the White Lions?
I don't know if you guys know this or not, but there was a zombie outbreak a couple years ago. It culled a lot of the White Lions as well as the Horned Riders. It was a bloodbath on the docks, and I mean, they're still there. They just don't have the presence that they could have had.
We appreciate the information.
That tracks with what we heard at the Element Meadery when we were talking to some of the Horned Riders down there. To re-rack.
You thank him and you cut back to Byron and a tall lion woman. I can't remember what they're called right now. The lion people.
Leonins, I think.
Yes, and a Loxodon walk up to you. The Leonin is got the blade symbol, and the Loxodon has the seeker symbol. And they walk up, and the Leonin introduces herself, and she says, "I am Tanya." Tanya the Leonin, and the Loxodon's name is Sutia. Yeah, I just did that. So I repurposed a name from another campaign because I didn't think about these characters ahead of time. I'm sorry, chat.
I will.
That's an honest answer. It's okay.
I'll shake the lion's hand. I'll turn and fist bump the leon or the loxodon and just be like, "Hey, how's it hanging?"
Swings its head, trunk flops back and forth, and is like, heavier every day.
Would Clem notice the Loxodon come up to Byron? Or
You
is
guys
this
are over
now-
there talking. Nope.
Okay,
You guys are over there talking.
Chatting, but I think we're-
And Byron gets some time in the sun.
Yes. This is
Byron,
for
what do you got
very
going on here?
important reasons.
Nothing. As they come out, I will. He'll just be cleaning his nails, and after he shakes their hands, he'll just say, "Lana informed us that the kobold riding an undead scorpion was seen south of town and asked us to take care of it. Do you have some information for us?"
Yes, I do. And she runs over to the desk over here where there's a clerk taking notes, and she starts paging through things, and she says, "Let's see. So there was definitely reports of a kobold riding an undead scorpion." And this seems to be it's right outside of and they're looking through. There's a little ink stain. It's I can't really. It's hopped in something. Hopped in. I can't make this other word out.
Hopton Creek?
Tag me in, coach. Let me in there. Nick says, just approaching, and maybe she barely hears this as they're talking. Yes, maybe.
No, the Loxodon's just like, yes, it's Hopton Creek. These poor bastards over there. I mean, it hasn't been so long since the massacre at Hopton Creek.
Interesting.
The rest of you
I have
come over at that point.
Wait before.
Oh, wait, sorry. The other people,
say-
you guys are still over there talking, and Byron has questions.
But before everyone else joins me, I do have a question about your guys' organization. What would it take to potentially join in an agent capacity? I have some experience with sneaking around and a little bit of spy work.
Sure. There are there are a few different levels. So you would be brought in as a journeyman, an apprentice. I apologize. And then from apprentice, you go to journeyman 1 through 4, and then you become a operative, seeker, or blade, depending on what is happening to everybody's freaking out over there.
That would be Lisa and Rob.
Don't worry about it, teacher.
So once you go through apprentice and
They got
journeyman
caught
1
by
through
that.
4, you are assigned a task, whether that is blade, seeker, or I'm sorry, I said agent. It's operative.
Okay.
Oh, I gotta change the name of my.
Sorry.
Okay. And one last question. Do you have anyone that would be able to, like, I know a little bit about poison work, but I would like to always learn more.
The Leonin looks at you, and Tanya says, I could probably introduce you to someone. And she thinks about it. She's like, yeah, I mean, I definitely could. Come back, and you're going to ask for oh fuck, chat, want to give me a name? I can't think of a name right now.
Penelope.
Did somebody in chat say Penelope?
No, I just said Penelope. I know I'm chatting.
Is it
Wiener. No,
Oh.
it's Venus.
Venus.
So it's Venus. The well, we already got a Carmex. It's Venus. The he is a tiefling. Venus the tiefling.
Good.
He is a
Venus?
Tiefling.
Venus the blue-skinned tiefling.
Okay.
Tanya looks at you and says, just please be careful. He's a little bit of a braggart. He thinks very highly of himself, but he is very skilled at poisoning.
I hate that personality type. And
Cannot wait for this meeting to happen.
okay. Yeah, and then I will I'll start putting together the rest of the stuff, and then I'll step back from the desk as everyone else starts to arrive.
And everybody else starts to arrive.
Clem is going to approach Sutya immediately and be like, tell me more about your armor specifications. Do you need armor? I would be happy to make some for you. I've never made any for Loxodon before. And she's just like rambling on and on because she's never made armor for a Loxodon before and have those big ears and like, what do you need for your trunk?
As you are talking, the trunk slowly comes up in front of your face and then sits right over your mouth. And she's like, shh. You're a little excited. I get that. Okay, look. If you would like to make me armor, you can. How about we start with a helmet? And she describes a helmet that has like chainmail on the side to go over her ears, and it's like missing spot here, but it does have almost like a chitinous pattern to go down her trunk to be able to allow it to move.
I'm writing a note on my phone to make Sutya some armor.
Okay. So I would, you get over there and they start recapping everything. And they say that you're going to Hopdan Creek. And Clem, your head snaps up because that's where you were born.
Ouch.
I didn't know that.
Yikes.
That's what happens when you don't put that in your backstory.
No, I like having a flexible backstory.
Yeah.
Gas.
Yeah, you find out your brother's a drug addict.
We're gonna find out a lot of things, like how they were massacred.
I wonder who it could have been.
So while that's still all up in the air, we're gonna call it quits for the night. I really appreciate everyone for being here. You're all super awesome. I appreciate the help with the name when my brain stopped working. So you guys are awesome, and thank you all for always coming out. If you like us, if you hate us, if you think we're okay, tell a friend, a neighbor, an aunt, maybe a child, that they should listen to us on YouTube or meet us here on Tuesdays, or even listen to our podcast that comes out every Monday on whatever you guys listen to. And if you liked what you heard, as always, please like, subscribe, and all that happy stuff. But before we leave, I need someone to give me inspiration for next time. Lisa?
All right. There were a lot of very funny comments, but Kite Sage with the dragon emoji and the bring me CJ really got me, and I thought it was very creative. Plus, Kite Sage also helped us out with the Venus name, so I feel like this one goes out to my boy
All
Kite
right.
Sage.
Kite Sage, is this our second, for our first, second inspiration? I think it is.
Yeah, I think so.
No, we actually gave 2 hot breadstick previously. Hot breadstick
Twice?
had gotten, inspiration
Okay.
across 2 different
Understand.
sessions.
Well, then it's not as important as I thought it was. Sorry. It's still super important.
Still important.
But
Still good.
next time you can curse my dice or bless my dice or bless their dice. So I
Look it up.
appreciate everyone for coming out today, and you're all fantastic.
Thank you
Love
everyone
you.
for the
Thanks,
gift
guys.
everyone.
subs.
We love you.
Bye,
Thanks
everyone.
for coming.
Thank you, Misprint, for the gift sub.
Oh, yeah, thank you.